Where do you need to give yourself more permission to try things? Where do you need to not lower the bar for the sense of, hey, I don't care, but lower the bar that you have to know every single thing you're doing before you even start? Jeff Bezos says he makes decisions with 70% of the available information. Now, we often know that in a world where there's so much change and there's so much ambiguity, the VUCA world and volatility and uncertainty, if you're waiting until there is absolutely no uncertainty, no volatility, no ambiguity, well then you're going to miss out on making any decision. But to make a decision with 70%, wow, if you were making decisions based on that, you'd make a lot more decisions. You would also make more decisions that aren't right. But if you were taking action in the presence of the ambiguity, if you're being more decisive, what would you be learning? You would also be doubling your learning rate. And it's about making little micro experiments, going, let's just try this. Doesn't mean you invest everything in one course of action, but you try it out and you play with it. Thomas Edison, when he would employ people, he would take them out for lunch. And he would get them, they would have a bowl of soup whether they wanted to or not. And he would observe whether or not they salted their soup before they tasted it. And if they put salt in their soup before they tasted it, he wouldn't employ them. He said they were operating off too much of a fixed mindset that you had to always salt the soup. He wanted people who weren't so fixed in their understanding of what would happen or how things would be. He wanted people who were really open and going, yeah, let's see, who are unlearners, willing to unlearn and relearn. And so with that, I encourage you to think about, if you were willing to kind of venture out of your comfort zone and try things even when you didn't know you were going to nail it, if you weren't going to go, okay, I have to make sure I've got every single little detail fleshed out before I actually take action, what would you do? What would you try? And where might, actually over time, by playing to win, actually venturing onto new ground versus playing not to lose, protecting what you have, actually allow you to accomplish more, to learn more, to build more relationships, and to be someone, actually, that other people loved working with because you were willing to try things and to speak up and to challenge old ideas.